Hi, this is Alan Braverman of the Giant Pixel Corporation. You are listening to our very own Sobo user, Justin Harvey, on The Justin Harvey Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Ray Harvey here for The Justin Harvey Show. It has been a long time since I have done a broadcast for you guys. I have been on an application for a few, I'd say probably a good month now. And the application is called Sobo. And what's interesting about Sobo, you can actually, it's like a soundboard, you can actually record 6 seconds of audio. I actually had heard of this application through a friend of mine, and I was like, hey, that sounds pretty cool, and that sounds pretty challenging. So I set myself out on a mission, ladies and gentlemen, and tonight on the phone, I have the founder of Sobo on the phone with me tonight, Mr. Alan Braverman. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, and for all the fans of Sobo out there, thank you for having the site, and thank you for doing this interview, because I really want to get the 411 on this remarkable story. So how did, explain to my audience, like, the history of Sobo? I mean, was this planned, or, because to me, I've kind of nicknamed it, the audio version of Twitter, in a way. So.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. The way we came up with the idea for Sobo was we saw people expressing themselves creatively using photos on Instagram and using short videos on Vine. And, people have to be creative on Twitter because they have to figure out a way to get their message in 140 characters or less. Mm-hmm. And we looked at our iPhones and our iPads and we said, there's another medium here that people could use to express themselves creatively, but no one's doing anything with the microphone. So let's focus on the microphone. Mm-hmm. And we got a first version of Sobo out there, and we said, let's see what people do with this.
Oh, well, and how long? Because like I said, I'm still fairly new to the site, and I find myself using it, on my iPad at least daily, and checking it. How long has Sobo been out there on the market and in existence?
Well, we had a small number of people beta testing it over the summer, and the first version went live in the App Store, I believe it was in July. And since then, we've been adding features and fixing bugs and sending new versions to the App Store every couple weeks. And we have a long list of features that we'd like to add. So we imagine continuing to add new features and continuing to deploy new versions to the App Store.
That'll be spectacular. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I did discover that. I'm still stuck on the iPhone 3G, ladies and gentlemen, and Sobo will not work with the older iPhones, correct? Because I ran into that trouble when I tried to use it on my iPhone 3G.
Right. So the newest version of iOS from Apple is version 8.1. Sobo works on any device running iOS 7.0 or newer.
Mm-hmm.
And off the top of my head, I'm not sure which devices that covers.
Oh, okay. Because I just wanted to make that clear for my audience, because there might be people like myself still stuck on the iPhone 3G and everything. So I just I wanted to make sure that was clarified. Now this is like my biggest question for the interview that I've been wondering since I've been using the service. Is there any hope that your app may end up as a desktop client for maybe like a laptop or something, or like the Mac laptop, or even the iMac?
Well, right now we're focused on devices that run iOS,
mm-hmm.
and we're rapidly iterating on creating new features and fixing bugs, and so supporting the desktop right now would really slow us down as far as development goes.
Mm-hmm.
If Sobo becomes tremendously successful, then just like a product like Twitter, you can imagine we might have versions that run on different phones, different desktops, and web-based.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we don't have plans to build a Mac desktop app. I'd say that a higher priority would be to build a web-based version. So if you want to use Sobo on a desktop Mac,
mm-hmm.
your best chance is to wait for us to build a web-based client. But for now, we're really just focusing on iPhone and iPad.
Well, that's great, but I got to be honest. I do hope that y'all do make a desktop client. That way, I can be on my big iMac and then be checking what everybody's up to, and then record the 6 seconds of audio. And I just think that it would it would be great to have a desktop client, and and I think it would broaden more people to use your service, because there's still a lot of famous people out there that still use a desktop or laptop. They don't use like iPads or the iPhone. They just use like basic stuff. But I see what you're saying, though, Alan. That's a very good very good point there. So what was the toughest, like when you were developing Sobo? What was your toughest challenge, would you say?
Well, the program's always evolving. We're always adding features and fixing bugs.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the early challenges was figuring out a user-friendly design. We actually had an internal prototype that we built, and only my coworkers and a few friends had it on their iPhones, and the interface mimicked an old-fashioned tape recorder or a VCR. It had
mm-hmm.
a record and a pause button and a play button, and so that was the first version, and I passed it around to some people, and the feedback that we got was, this is too clunky. It takes too many button presses to record a soundbite.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the designers here at our company, the Giant Pixel Corporation, basically said, this design's not good enough. We have to go back to the drawing board. And this was tough for me because this meant I had to throw out a lot of code that I had already written, and basically start up, kind of not really start over from scratch, but throw out a lot of code and redo it a different way. That was, it can be tough to throw away a bunch of work that you've already done. But luckily, I work with some great designers, and they came up with a better design that looks like the version of Sobo that you're using, and so I think in the long run it was worth it. I think that's been the biggest challenge thus far. We have a lot of features that we want to add, and next year when Apple releases the Apple Watch, we're going to want to build support for the Apple Watch. So there's a bunch of challenges upcoming that we're going to need to work on as well.
Oh, that'll be great, Alan. Now, here's a great question that I was wondering, and I'm sure that there may be a lot of people that are wondering this. Would you possibly be considering having Sobo as a mini podcast where you could actually submit it to the iTunes store? That way people can hear your 6-second recordings, and maybe that would drive more traffic to your application?
Well, I don't think we'd really thought of that, but we can certainly put that on our list of features to consider. Our company built another iPhone app called Antenna, which is it's kind of like a podcast app. I like to describe it as Pandora for news radio or talk radio. It's not designed for listening to long podcasts. It's designed for short news, short audio stories, short news stories, and so there's been some talk about potentially merging the two apps in some way, or making them work together. So we haven't thought about putting 6-second Sobo sound bites in the App Store, but it's possible. I think I'll put it on our list of future features to consider, and appreciate the suggestion.
Yeah, because I was thinking how fun would that be to actually have a 6-second podcast, to be able to be creative and get your message out there, and because the podcast leaves a link to the to the app or to the site. I just thought that was a tremendous idea that I had thought about, because I have, like I said, I have been using your program quite frequently, and I've already got some pretty good followers, and everybody's just, what's so fun about it is everybody's just so pleasant there. I like it. It's awesome.
Thanks.
So, and I was going to ask you something else, Alan, but my memory is slipping for some reason. Sometimes that happens. Oh, I remember now. Okay, I was reading a very interesting article where someone had interviewed you or something, and one of the questions was that there was a time that y'all was considering making Sobos longer time, but have y'all made a final decision to keep it 6 seconds, or are y'all looking to extend it?
For now, we're going to keep the sound bites at 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
We may consider changing that in the future, but it's not We have no plans to change it.
Okay, well, my personal opinion, I actually like the challenge to actually come up with something for 6 seconds. Because where I'm a broadcaster, it can help with your broadcasting skills to get straight to the point. So I think that y'all really have something unique here. Because in my mind, if y'all make it longer, it would just be like any other site.
Exactly.
So I mean that's just my opinion. So, and has there been talks about maybe adding photos and having like better Twitter integration where you can play the sobo through Twitter?
Yeah, that's a great question. We definitely want to do the second thing that you asked about. We want to make it so you can play sound bites directly from Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
A couple people have suggested more dynamic photos, and that's on the list of things to consider. Another big feature that we want to add that's not there yet is more sound editing. So maybe you record your 6-second soundbite, and then you can process your own voice with some kind of sound filter. Maybe it would speed up or slow down your voice, or
mm-hmm.
add some other kind of sound effects to your soundbite.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be awesome. That would be really cool. I mean, that would just be like off the chain. Really, it would. So, I mean, like I said, I've only been with Sobo a short time, and I'm already hooked. And I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Ray, who will probably be listening to this broadcast, because that's actually how I heard about your service, and I was like, I'm gonna check that out. That sounds pretty cool. So, and explain to my audience, how the profiles work and everything.
How the profiles work?
Yeah.
Well, when you sign up for an account on Sobo, you can either use Facebook. You can either connect with your Facebook account, and that's what most Sobo users do. You can also sign up with an email address, or if you want to, you can remain anonymous. And if you decide to be anonymous, we create a random username for you by taking the name of some animal and tacking some random numbers onto it, mm-hmm. and then you can follow people, whether you know them in real life or not. And whenever someone records a new soundbite, you'll see the little red balloon above their profile photo, mm-hmm. and so tapping plays their newest soundbite. And then, Justin, you can flip up. You can flip up on the screen when a soundbite is playing to see mm-hmm. a user's file and to view their history of soundbites.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, it's amazing, what this app does. I mean, and honestly, in my opinion, Sobo, if you're not careful, Sobo can be very addicting at times. But it's that good of a service, and and I like how the audio, just uploads instantly. I've not had any trouble with that. So, it's just an amazing application, and are y'all available on Android yet, or?
Pardon?
Are y'all available for Android yet? Because just in case that there might be Android people listening to this podcast.
Not yet. We're iPhone and iPad only right now. We may do Android in the future after everyone who has an iPhone and or an iPad has installed Sobo.
Okay, Alan, and I'm just curious, are there any celebrities on Sobo yet?
Any celebrities?
Yeah.
I think you are the only one so far.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if I have anything to say about it, Alan, there's got to be some celebrities on Sobo, because there's a lot of celebrities on Twitter. So, and I think that, once you can really get the word out of there more, you will get a lot of celebrities on Sobo. It will just take a lot of work and a lot of time. Now, do you guys have a newsletter yet, or?
We have an email list. If you sign up for Sobo with Facebook or an email address, then we add you to our email list. We don't send that many emails because we don't want to fill anyone's email inbox up with spam, but we do send emails to tell people when there's a new version and stuff like that.
Oh, awesome. And usually, and I've noticed the other day, and usually, because I received an email saying that these Sobos are trending, and I noticed that my picture was up there. So does that mean that that's what's popular right now on the application?
Right. We have an algorithm that determines the top 5 most popular Sobo users for a given week, and you were in our top 5 this past week. That means people were listening to your sound bites, or liking them, or sharing them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's amazing, Alan. I just wanted to clarify that, because, like I said, I'm fairly new to the site still, and I'm still learning the ins and the outs. And one of my final questions before I let you go, Alan, where would you like to see Sobo? I mean, where would you like to see it really going? Because, even if it takes, let's say within a 4-year period, where would you like to see Sobo?
In 4 years?
Yeah.
Well, by then I would naturally like to see it being used all over the world, and hopefully we can take credit for taking down a dictatorship somewhere on the other side of the planet.
Absolutely. And another final question I have too, when Sobo was presented, did y'all have people that doubted this product?
People that did? I'm sorry.
People that doubted this product and said this is not going to work.
I don't know if anyone actually said that to my face, but I'm sure some people think that, and but that's okay. I've worked on a lot of tech startups in my career, and some products were successful, and some weren't, and that's okay. It doesn't bother me if somebody doesn't like it.
Yeah. I mean, you realize that you could be the next, for example, you could be the next Tom from MySpace. I mean, look how successful MySpace was, and if it wasn't for MySpace, there probably wouldn't have been a Facebook. So,
that's right.
So I really think, Alan, that you're onto something here, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this podcast. But do you have any final thoughts for my audience?
Well, since I've got you on the phone here, can I record my own 6-second soundbite and have you chime in while I'm doing that so that I can record it right now?
Absolutely, and like I said, this will be on iTunes within a week or so. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna record a soundbite right now, and I'll say I'm being interviewed by Justin Harvey, and then you say hello or whatever you want to say.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
I'm being interviewed by Justin Harvey about sobo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Excellent. Wait, let me play it back and make sure it works. I'm being interviewed by Justin Harvey about sobo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, got cut off a little bit, but I think it's okay. Should I go ahead and publish it?
Yeah, you can publish it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay, done.
That is awesome.